Hello, and welcome to the Talos Principle, by far the oldest game on the Weekend Games series, which I have apparently been doing for a while now. Yeah, somehow I've never previously played this, and I'm not entirely sure why, because it seems like it's the kind of thing that's right up my alley. Talos Principle 2 only came out very, very recently. It actually turned out to be cheaper to get it in a bundle with Talos Principle 1 than it would have been to get it on its own, so yeah, I have this now. And I figured I should probably do this first. I think this game's like 10 years old at this point. And I am familiar with the first couple of hours or so. I've never played it, but I've seen some footage of the beginning section of the game. So the first couple of episodes will not be particularly blind, but we'll get into new unseen content fairly quickly, I think. Also believe that this is gonna be a pretty long one, so let's just get right into it.
Behold, child, you are risen from the dust, and you walk in my garden. Hear now my voice, and know that I am your maker, and I am called Elohim. Seek me in my temple, if you are worthy.
The game is still loud. I turned it down a bunch and it's still loud. Let me maybe turn it down even more. Options, sound, master volume. Let's just shift that down to half again. That's a little bit better, maybe. It's this button, right? Yes, this button. I am Robot Fellow. That's a toggle. Sure. I am a robot fellow. We are in a garden, or more accurately, a simulation of a garden. And I can jam force fields with force field jammers. But you also have the good old fizzler, now in purple. We have this, which I believe is some kind of roving bomb droid thing. It can also be jammed. And we have a mounted gun turret, which, surprise, surprise, can also be jammed. My predictive capacity is indeed okay. Don't know where I am, but there is something beautiful about this place. I will explore and see what I can discover. Version 17.1.0054. That is a real QR code, by the way, which when scanned will say exactly what is written there in the top left. It is an accurate transcription of what the QR code says.
All across this land I have created trials for you to overcome, and within each I have hidden a sigil. It is your purpose to seek these sigils, for thus you will serve the generations to come and attain eternal life.
Pretty sure my life expectancy is already going to be fairly long. I'm a robot. Anyway, yes, we have door, we have many puzzle options, many places to go to. Let's just start by going this way. Because why not? Okay, we have jammer there. Our objective is over there. I can jam that from way back over here. No way to bring it through there. So, probably I may as well. Second jammer there. I could jam that. Can't walk through that. Okay, so what I probably want to do is grab you, jam that, bring you through, jam that from this side, walk back through, take out the gun. Now that this is on this side, I can just turn it around like that. And we have a Tetris piece.
The shapes you are collecting are not mere toys. They are the sigils of our name. Each brings you closer to eternity.
Tetris piece, sigil, same difference to me. Peephole. Indeed it is. Let me just preemptively jam that. Not sure if that's what I want to do, but probably. Right, no, I want to jam this first so I can get that jammer out of that room. Can I even call these rooms? How much of a room is it? It's got no ceiling. Drop that there. Run back through. Jam robot number 1. There you are. It's quite a pretty looking game, considering it was made 10 years ago.
You will not need this sigil to open the gate to my temple, but it may serve you in times to come.
Can't bring that through anywhere. Or that one. You'll see these signs do get crossed out, so no chance of accidentally going back to a puzzle I've already solved. Don't know who's doing the crossing out. They just suddenly appear crossed out. But it is convenient, so I shan't complain. Okay, turret over there. Switch over there. You jam that. Now I can disable the turret with the switch, which means I can take you back again. And get through. Did you suddenly appear? Pillar.
Well done, child. Only one more sigil is needed.
This is a simulated world, so things will occasionally just pop in and out of existence. I can go this way. Outnumbered. Got anything around here? Nope. Okay, I can let you through. If I stand a little bit further back. Aha! Now you are trapped.
My temple awaits you, child. Go forth.
Well, that's everything I need, but we can do more. Like striding the beaten path.
You do not need to collect all sigils at once. You are free to return to this place whenever you choose.
Just slip past this one. Not that one, though.
The guardians of this land may harm you, but do not resent them, for they are my servants, and they challenge you only so that your faith might be strengthened.
Okay, let's wait for you to go in there. I call you're trapped. Sneak around you. And we're done.
You are most diligent. Perhaps this trait will serve you well in times to come.
Well, thank you. Cool. Before I go any further forward, let me just make sure that everything is working properly. Besides LO being rather loud, yes, everything is fine. Goes there, this goes here, and that goes there. My eyes have been opened. This world is not without order. It is shaped by a great designer with signs and portents to guide my steps. I am one of his children, and challenges are set before me to test my faith. One with faith. Version 10.1.0011. Whatever the end goal of this grand challenge is, it's far out of reach. Knowing that, how are we supposed to resist distraction? Version 17.1.0002. Speaking of distraction... "47 distributed resources found." That's quite a few. Network inaccessible. Milton Library Assistant unresponsive. Hi. What's this? Hello, world. Directory. Help. Right, we have list, open file name, help, run Milton Library Assistant, and exit. Welcome.eml. Hi again. I'm sorry if I was a little odd at the meeting. I know you were nervous, but the truth is, so was I. This may be hard to believe, but you intimidate me. You're so young and you've already accomplished so much. If the situation weren't so grim, I might even be jealous. Analog smiley face emoji. There's also something I wanted to clarify. I realise that, nominally speaking, I'm head researcher here, but this is your project and everyone will respect that. And yes, I know you're not used to working like this, but as of today, you're in charge. No pressure. Let's do this, Nadia. Did not trust them, but they moved with such grace, such nobility, that it was hard not to follow them further into this strange garden of gears and cogs. They led her to a place where the crowns of the brass trees seemed to glow together, forming a kind of chamber, strangely reminiscent of a chapel. In the middle of this chamber grew a smaller tree, made of bright blue steel, and upon this tree grew a single golden apple. This apple, the nymphs said in unison, their eyes aglow, confers the gift of deathlessness and true wisdom. Many heroes and not a few villains have come to claim it, but all faltered in the final step. Few must know that deathlessness reveals the mortality of the world, and true wisdom its unending folly. Who would take this burden upon themselves? Some say that Heracles, insert hexadecimal here, gazing upon the stars and wept. And we have figureitout.eml. The way I see it, the world doesn't come with a manual. You gotta figure it out for yourself. A bit here, a bit there, put it together, try to make sense of it. I'm pretty sure there is a truth, but that doesn't mean everyone who claims to know it really does. Then again, this doesn't have to be a bad thing. We live in an amazing world, and searching for the truth can be a real adventure. Plus, it's good for the brain. Anyway, just some rambling thoughts from your old man. Don't let this stuff get you down, you're young, you've got loads of time to figure it all out. Love, Dad. Well, I don't really have the context from most of that to know how relevant it all is. But I can run the Milton Library Assistant. List. Can you help me? What would you like help with? Nope. Not a true AI. It doesn't remember what it's previously written. Describe your functions. Designed primarily to sort and classify data in the library archive, and facilitates user interaction with the library resources via an intuitive human language interface. I'm not going to insult the pointless contraption. Publishing dates range from 1995 up till some date probably in the 2030s. What are these terminals? They provide access to the library resource archive. A true, but ultimately useless piece of information. The system has been active for a very long time. Uh, 47 million resources in the archive, taking up 5.42 petabytes of disk space. 30 billion photos, 7 billion minutes of HD video, or the entire internet in 2003. However, the majority are corrupted or invalid, and we only have 10.69 gigabytes of uncorrupted resources. What caused the corruption? Time. Forget the library. Can you respond to queries on the outside world? Not really. Elohim is the noun for god or gods in modern and ancient Hebrew. You're logged in with a guest account. Again, a true but ultimately irrelevant response. I'm in a report session with the MLA language, blah 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 blah. That's enough of that. Right, I think I've seen everything that I'm gonna see. And if I need to review anything, I can do so very easily here. And everything that's that way.
Step into the light, child, and my temple will be revealed to you.
Pretty sure that's the exit. I would like to do everything in here first, including poking a sleeping lion. Despite the fact that that sounds like a terrible idea. Hello. Right, turret up there. Take this jammer. Jam that from over here, so that I can recover this jammer. And disable gun and barrier. And we have the most useful Tetris piece, the long straight one. Trio Bombasticus. Right, well, it's just going to be letting them out one at a time then, isn't it? You, and you. And sure, I can jam you. So far, so straightforward. And that, I believe, is everything there is to see around here. Apart from maybe a star somewhere. Not sure where that is. Let me see if I can find it real quick. No idea where it would be. I remember vaguely where it is from watching previous stuff, but no. I know it's in a little alcove somewhere, but I can't find it. Let's just move on.
You walk now upon the stones of my temple, whence many gates lead. And know that I have other temples, for my garden is greater than your eye can encompass. And all these worlds I made for you.
Okay, we need a star for that. Loads of worlds. This one's barricaded up with wood. And a very large map. And a place with an elevator. Okay. Well, things have opened up a lot. What's this? I'm missing 1 for that, and I'm missing 4 for that. Well, let's just go in order, shall we?
Let this be our covenant. These worlds are yours, and you are free to walk amongst them and subdue them. But the great tower, there you may not go. For in the day that you do, you shall surely die.
We'll see about that. Unrecognized error detected. It couldn't mount local disks. System resources are redirected to handle incoming network messages. Network inaccessible. Encountered unknown errors. Let's run the troubleshooter. About Milton Library Assistant. I think we've seen that before. Troubleshooting. The most common cause of network problems is holding insufficient account privileges. Please enter the admin password. Let me in. Nope. Admin. Nope. QWERTY. Nope. But we can create a new admin account. Let's do that. And now I have to answer some questions. Yes, yes, yes. Right. 2 plus 2 is 4. That is a face. Well, best described as a person. I'm gonna go with that, even though I've kind of given a pretty useless answer. You're walking through the desert and come across a thirsty traveller. His eyes bulge from slow dehydration. You have water, but you're not sure how far it is to the next oasis. What do you do? Let's go with offer half the water. And now we must wait a bit. But we do have some locally cached resources to look at in the meantime. My first day at the Institute of Applied Pneumatics, which I believe is the study of scripture. On my way to work I'm terrified. What if they don't like me? What if they're all geniuses and I'm a complete buffoon? Maybe they were just kidding about letting me work there. Trembling I walk in, and right at the entrance there's a life-size poster of Jeff Goldblum. What the hell? Then I get it. Institute for Applied Pneumatics. Ian. Dr. Ian Malcolm from the Jurassic Park movies. Jeff Goldblum. Dr. Sarabai, I butchered that name. Shows up, smiling. We were trying to find a cool acronym back when the Institute was founded, she says. INAN. IAPN. INAPNO. It all sounded stupid, but we didn't want to just call it Ian because, well, that's a name. Then someone made a joke about calling it Jeff, and it kind of stuck. So we officially called it Ian, but if you hear anyone referring to Jeff, that's our internal name, I guess. I know, bloody geeks. After that conversation, I wasn't so scared anymore. Sarabai? It's probably Sarabai. Let's go with that. Novel's first sentence, she woke up in an impossible place doing nothing, signifies more than the beginning of another amnesia-based mystery, that we should not go so far as to read the whole work as an allegory. Rather, while taking the science-fictional novus at the core of the narrative at face value, we should... Having no inherent knowledge of the nature of the world, forced to rely on what we're told by others and what our own subjective, flawed, limited senses tell us, social reality, belief, and objective reality, matter, come into conflict. When, in Chapter 16, A Second Awakening in the Kingdom of Artemis, the protagonist questions her mentor on the... //. A more meaningful interpretation can only be achieved through synthesis of... blank. Very cool. It's the name of the game, .txt. Whether it is true that Daedalus? I think it's pronounced Daedalus. Constructed the giant Talos, or as others say, he was the creation of Hephaestus, what we may be certain of is that he was made of bronze and had but one vein, within which flowed a liquid substance like blood, which some claim was quicksilver, and others assert was ichor, such as flows in the veins of the gods. The loss of that liquid caused him to die, as a man dies when he loses his blood. May we not say, then, that Talos, though created as a machine or a toy, had all the essential properties of a man? He moved of his own volition, he spoke and could be spoken to, had wishes and desires. Indeed, in the tale of the Argonauts, that was the cause of his downfall. If, then, a machine may have all the properties of a man and act as a man, or driven only by the ingenious plan of its construction and the interaction of its materials according to the principles of nature, then does it not follow that man may also be seen as a machine? This contradicts all the schools of metaphysics, and even the most faithful philosopher cannot live without his blood. More information in the journal. Unless we'll have some more questions for me later. But for now, let's wander over here into this mysterious floating blue envelope.
When I was a little girl, one of our teachers, Mrs. Higgins, told us to make a time capsule, write letters to the future, so one day we could remember what it was like to be children. I thought it was stupid, so I didn't do it, which I really regret. So, I guess I'm gonna make one now. Bury it in the archive instead of under a tree. I don't know if anybody will ever find it, but somehow it seems important to keep talking, to keep thinking, for as long as I can.
Much back here, we're on an island, and there are other islands. This is but one of them. Hi. Recording. Lovely. Did we not also have... yes. I can't tell if the documents are all that's left from a larger archive or carefully designed to communicate some hidden truth. Sheep! Version 69.1.0162. Sign pole broke. Got a terminal over here. A slightly fancier looking one. Error.log. Cannot load archive. Milton John. The day I oft remember when from sleep I first awaked and found myself reposed under a shade on flowers, much wondering where and what I was, whence, whither, brought, and how. Unknown error. The human machine.html. One day you discover that you're not a human being, but a machine. Your life so far was real, no one controlled you or programmed you to behave in some specific way. Your physical and mental capabilities are identical to those of an organic human being, but you were created in a lab. No one except you knows about this. Your family, your friends, they all think you're a regular human being like themselves. You could continue to live your life the way you had before and nothing would change. How do you react? Pay specific attention to these questions. Does your concept of yourself change? Are you the same person you thought you were? Does your understanding of the world itself change? Do you reveal the information to others, or do you keep it to yourself, and why? 1,500 to 2,000 words, 26th is the final deadline. No extensions will be granted. Submit via email or blah 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 blah. All these calm people are driving me mad. Have they all suddenly turned into Buddha or something? I didn't know the world had such reserves of serenity. Though these latter-day... I don't know, recognise that name. Gutamas are at least being somewhat realistic. You know what's even worse? Those paranoid nutters who are building bunkers and collecting guns. What are they going to do? Shoot? Though I have to admit the overall response has been much better than I ever anticipated, to the point where I might be moved by the beauty of humanity if I wasn't such a grumpy old fart. This minority of total idiots is really messing up my final days. Anyway, the reason I'm writing is because I refuse to believe in scenarios with absolutely no solutions. If we all put our heads together, we can figure something out. It'll be crazy, but crazy is better than dead. Crazy is what we do best on this planet. I agree with that. Right. It's probably enough wandering about. Let's find some puzzles to do. Oh, I do have a jump. I wasn't even sure if I did. Suicide mission. Alright. Gun is currently turned off. I can also jam it. Where's the switch? Here. If I jam it, turn it on like that, then I can let the bomb through, and they fight each other. And by fight, I mean explode. And kill both of them. Turn that off, even though it no longer makes any difference whatsoever.
Good. You are learning, as is your purpose. But your choices must be your own. Therefore, I will not guide you, unless it is necessary.
Uh-huh. Unless it is necessary, indeed. The door is locked. Any alternative way in? Don't see one. What's in there overway? Overway? Anyway. What am I talking about? What am I doing? What am I saying? Let's go this way. hall of windows. Better than a hall of Linux. Is it? Probably not. Right. Jammer here. Jammer there. I can bring you through. Point you there. Or there. If I point you there, then I can go back through and move you somewhere more useful. Like all the way over there. Jammers do have some range on them. Yep, can head all the way through. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. How many things are there here? Yeah, only one more, and another star somewhere. Again, that might take some hunting for. The guards must be crazy. Okay, I can't really get past you, or can I? I can. Barely. It's something that might come into play later, blocking one of their control patterns with a jammer. If I do that, and point there, then I can take this through with me. You didn't actually go through the door, you are. Or high. Just stop you all the way back over there. Ooh. Run, run, run. Cool. We got it. Right, and that's everything in here, apart from, again, wherever the star may be. We'll take a couple of minutes to have another look. That pedestal looks very much like where I woke up. I'm guessing it won't let me enter the water. It will.
In the beginning...
Huh?
In the beginning were the words, and the words made the world. I am the words, the words...
The words are everything.
In the beginning were the words, and the words made the world. I am the words are everything. Where the words end, the world ends. You cannot go forward in an absence of space. Repeat. In the beginning were the words...
Huh. That's different. I didn't know I could do that. I think we're already at the point where I'm encountering things I haven't seen. In fact, I can't even remember if I have seen anything past this. This is a nice little outcropping. Trees. Pretty. Something strange has come into the world, like a distortion, like something that's not supposed to exist. A beautiful voice speaks within it. Bob. Version 25.5.0736. A voice is not supposed to be here. It is not the work of the designer. We must avoid these abnormalities, or they might spread and undermine the very fabric of the world. One with faith. I suppose the star is probably in there, but I'm not sure how you get in there. No fake walls or anything, is there? It's pretty non-floaty jump. I can see any further in there in this perspective. Not really. That noise is just the exploded gun turret. Well, again, I'm not sure where the star is, but let's just move on. Okay, Nothing new there. But we have got enough to solve, neither of those. A, wherever A is. Are you A? All the way over here. This is gonna be pretty much the same solve as the last one. No. Still easy enough, though. I can go up. Do I want to go up? Why not?
You have proven yourself worthy, child, and this gate shall be forever open to you. Seek now the other worlds I have given you, that you may attain even greater mastery and bring glory to your kind. But remember, you must not ascend the great tower, for it shall bring death and the end of your generations.
Well, now I'm in A, wherever that is. A. There's a terminal around here someplace. A. Oh yeah, that's a tower. There's also a B and a C. And a very wide open wintry environment. Part of the certification program has been generated. Test the consistency of some of your outlier responses in the previous round. Presented with a series of statements, please indicate your agreement where appropriate. Now we're getting into the real philosophical stuff. Since all human beings are persons, and some human beings have psychological capacities similar to animals, so animals are therefore persons. No. person is under no authority under which they consent. Broadly, yes. Quality of life of the persons ought to be maximized. Broadly, yes. Value is discovered. Yeah. Persons deserve the talents they were born into. See, this I would have preferred an in-the-middle response. Because it very, very much depends. Liberty of persons ought to be maximized, yes. Value is created. Value can be both discovered and created, so yes. Athena12.txt. The great bronze bulls pulled the carriage forward, mighty bursts of steam issuing from their nostrils. Finally they came to the gates at the top of the... Here assembled were all the many generations of the gods and demigods and souls of mortals, steel and bronze and iron, and a memory of flesh. The clouds parted far beneath, revealing the beautiful plains of Macedon, while great gleaming cities had once. Is 1A home? Professor Dr. Armin Huluk. The Fall of the Roman Empire. But interesting as such perspectives of the decline and ultimate dissolution of the Roman Empire may be, they ultimately put too much emphasis on individual catastrophic events. The real question that must be asked is why the Roman Empire, which had dealt with so many threats and catastrophes over the years, was so incapable of responding to these later problems. We must investigate the division of wealth, the structure of government, the location of power in Roman society. Had the Republic survived or had been restored, Rome would still have fallen. What was the role of debt and slavery in creating the conditions for what we now call the Dark Ages? Rome, the saying goes, was not built in a day. It didn't fall in a day either. To register for the class, please email @. Very snowy environment. What is going on with the shadows up there? And we have a bee. Need many more sigils for that. Oxyrhynchus. Or however you pronounce that. The great irony of the whatever that is that such a vital source of information about the ancient world exists only because of a garbage dump. The Library of Alexandria burned at the hands of fanatics and conquerors, depriving us of unimaginable insights into history, philosophy, and art. The papers carelessly thrown away by the citizens of Arinculus survived to the modern day. And though it is true that it's a great deal of what we know today is because of the conscious efforts of the individual and organizations, such as the spectacular translation and preservation work done during the Islamic Golden Age, so much more is simply the result of coincidence and luck. We've lost texts that the ancients considered to be absolutely essential, while utterly trivial, even plagiarized, work survived unharmed. So if we want our descendants to remember more than glittering emo vampires and auto-tuned teen pop stars, we have to invest in... make sure that. Book of Osiris. Oh, there's no R there. Let's go with Osiris. Book of the Scribes of Osiris, sometimes also referred to as the Book of the Journey to Aru, is an ancient Egyptian text discovered in the excavation of previously described town. It has caused a certain degree of controversy among Egyptologists, as some argue that it is a classic funerary text, while such as the Book of Coming Forth by Day, while others believe it to be a poetic work not intended to be understood literally. The book tells the story of a dying man who asks a scribe about the afterlife. The scribe, a servant of Osiris, describes how the man's ka, life force, will be separated from his ba, personality, and how we'll have to reunite the two and become an Akdu. living intellect, passing a series of trials in the Duat underworld in order to reach the paradise of Aru. Unlike similar texts, the Book of the Scribe of Osiris focuses less on giving advice, or A recent study suggests the text may have been intended as philosophical commentary on the world of the living through the allegory of the Duat. It remains unclear whether this was the intent of the original pre-Alexandrian author, or a result of the latter translation into Greek. The earlier manuscript, which is considered to be more authentic, is too fragmentary to provide answers, though perhaps further excavation may... That's pretty interesting. What's the dates on these, by the way? 2022, and then 2032. I also keep pressing escape to try and exit from those consoles. That doesn't work, that just brings up the menu. I'm afraid of that tower. There's something terrible inside it. Never think about it. Don't even look at it. Just focus on doing the work. SEER 13.1.0244. This must be the tower that we were warned about. Seems the upper levels are locked tight. Hello, him. Hello, him. It's taking no chances that we stray from his path. That's a lot of buttons. Anything round the back? Yes, kind of. There's a building over there. And whatever that is, locked away behind some wood panels over there. Building sure has a whole lot of floors. On returning from the tower, I feel a great tiredness and an enormous energy. What I know now disturbs me, but I hope that by living with this knowledge I might provide a shoulder for you, the giants of tomorrow, the shepherd. The view from the top must be incredible. What's this building around the back? Several entrances. There's a star back there, and a receptacle for the thing that was locked behind the wood. Well, I don't think I know enough to do too much with that yet, but it's certainly interesting. Can't climb that, too steep. Of course, I immediately wander to where I'm not supposed to go. Temptation and all that.
Cannot detect location of primary subject. Query. Query. Query.
I go further up as well, but the buttons aren't even turned on. Does that even work? Nope. There's a sphinx. And a red one locked door.
Is there anything that we associate more closely with intelligence than curiosity? Every intelligent species on Earth is attracted by the unknown. Our mythologies are full of riddles and mysteries and divine knowledge. Even the word apocalypse means revelation. It seems like our ancestors always imagined that even at the very end, we would solve one last mystery.
Where have you been, child? Remember, the great tower is not for you. Do not give up the hope of eternal life for the hollow promises of curiosity.
I do what I please. Well, here we have C. Heaven.txt and hell.txt from a long time ago. The mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven, and a matter where, if I be still the same, and what should I be, all but less than he who thunder hath made greater? Here at least we shall be free. The Almighty hath not here, but for his envy, will not drive us hence. Here way me reign secure, and in my choice to reign is worth ambition, though in hell, better to reign in hell than serve in heaven. The ancient tradition that the air let me start again. The ancient tradition that the world will be consumed in fire at the end of 6,000 years is true, as I have heard from hell. For the cherub with his flaming sword is hereby commanded to leave his guard at the tree of life, and when he does, the whole creation will be consumed, and appear infinite and holy, whereas now it appears finite and corrupt. This will come to pass by an improvement of sensual enjoyment. But first, the notion that man has a body distinct from his soul is to be expunged. This I shall do by printing in the infernal method by corrosives, which in hell are salutary and medicinal, melting apparent surfaces away and displaying the infinite which was hid. Lake William, the marriage of heaven and hell. I do wonder how many of these are actual pieces of historical text. Because that very much sounded like it could have been. Greatly modernized, of course, but it could have been. The Designer has granted me domain over the lands I travelled, and with his sigils of power I will make this whole world my domain. Hey, he promised me the world as well. What a joker. Assassin 42. I don't think time obeys too many rules here, or so many rules we can't imagine. Clearly I'm writing this message after you all wrote yours, but maybe we'll all hear at the same time as well. That message just materialized on the wall in front of me. Yes, well, it's clearly a simulation. I don't think rules like people needing to be in front of you to write things on walls is obeyed here. For all I know, there could be hundreds of other people, or robots, or simulations, or whatever, in the same space, and I just could be unable to see any of them. Well, let's enter number 3.